Hi everyone, my name is Teresa and you have landed at the Timeless Women channel. Why Timeless Women? Because we are timeless. We have no expiration date. No matter what, our sun is not setting, it is rising. We have time to live, love, and be, and go, and travel, and do whatever we want to do. And that's what this channel is about. But today's topic is, wow, I put some lashes on the side, just two, and one is coming off. That's why I don't wear lashes, because I don't know how to do them. But this topic today is about when we settle in life. And for me, I think that we go through like three phases in our life. You know, we're born, we grow up, we have our family, and if you have kids or not, and you get married, that's one phase. Then you get to like in your 40s and you have this awakening, if you're lucky enough, and you start to see things differently, and you realize that you're growing older and that you are starting to feel good in your skin. And so at that point, life changes, and that's your second phase. And so then you live through that phase. Maybe it's the best time of your life at that time. I know when I turned 40, I thought that was the best day of my life. I was sitting in the doctor's office like I do every year because I have allergies on my birthday, on my 40th birthday. And I remember this awe, this awakening feeling, that not because I wasn't even mad because I had been sitting there for 2 hours waiting for my doctor appointment. I was sitting there and some kind of feeling came over me where just calmness and peace came about me. And I realized that, man, this feels good. And I had never felt that calmness and peace, you know, raising kids and going through marriage and trying to get educated and all that and trying to keep up with the Jones and everything. And at that point when I was 40, my kids were just about grown. I knew that I could have choices, and just something changed, and that was really good. And then I hit 50, and that was good. And then I got around about 57, 58. I'm going to be 60 in January 2026. And then a third phase of my life is now starting to happen, where I went to school a little bit in the first phase. I didn't do what I wanted to do, and I kind of settled, and and then the second phase, I thought I wanted to go back to school, but I thought, no, you're too old, do something that's not going to take a long time. So I did esthetician. And then the third phase, I always wanted to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist. That was the thing when I was a little girl I always wanted to do. And I think when you hit about 8 to 10 years old, if you can think back, you knew at 8 to 10 years old what you wanted to do. So if you want to stop this video and go back and think when you were about 8 years old, I say about usually around 10, you know exactly what you wanted to do. Then comes along the people that talk you out of it, like your aunts, your uncles, your whatever, your parents, whoever. And they say, oh, you can't be a psychiatrist, because they never finished their education. That's going to take, you know how long a psychiatrist goes to school? You can't do it. You can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I started believing that, and I went straight to work right in high school. And, once you get a job, you sometimes just keep going and doing that same thing, and you get out of high school. And, I didn't go to college. I did part-time college. My mom couldn't afford it. Long story short, I never fulfilled that dream. I always said, well, I got to work, so I'm going to look for something easier. And they say if you do things easier, you'll have a hard life. If you do things hard, you'll have an easy life. I wish, like they say, you wish you would have, listened when they told you to. So all those years, I got married, I had kids, I raised them, and always in the back of my mind, I want to be a psychiatrist. Well, like I said, I turned 40, and I thought that was too late, so went to school for something easy again. Now I'm at the phase where I am totally an empty nester. My kids are having kids, and I had a construction company. I sold that after 30 years. I started a second career doing restorative nail care. It's very rewarding in nursing homes, in rehabs, going to people who are special needs that can't come to you. Trust and believe, it's very rewarding. But for me, it's a lot of traveling because I drive and I live in Texas, and it's such a big state, and the driving is killing me. And I feel like I cannot scale myself. So I really think that this is not going to be long term for me. And also, I'm on my knees on concrete or tile doing restorative foot care. And people say, why don't you get a chair? And you really can't get a chair because you have to be down. A lot of them are in wheelchairs and they can't lift their legs up, so put them on a stool, so you have to really be down there. And when you get up, your knees are hurting. I mean, did I mention I'm almost 60, and your back hurts? But I forget that until I get up and I leave. So I think long term, I'm not going to want to do this. So I was thinking, what is it that I really wanted to do, that I settled for in life, that I would really want to do, and that was to go back into being a psychiatrist. And the voice in me said, you're too effing old. You're too old. And really, I mean, almost 60. How the hell can I go to medical school and all that stuff it takes to do that? I'm just too old. I don't have the funds to do all that. So what would be the second thing? And I thought about nursing, and I got the book and studied for the it's TEAS test where you take, it's to get into nursing school. And my God, was that friggin' intimidating as hell. I'm still going through that book, but realizing in that book that I don't really want to be a nurse. I think in my mind, I just want to have something that I can be rewarded for, and that people will look at me like, you finished something and you got something that's worthy, and probably comes from the parts of me that I don't feel worthy all the time, or I didn't. Now I'm doing a lot of mirror work and a lot of self-reflection, and I'm really starting to like myself. And that's one great thing. One of the great things about when you age is that, wish you could have had that when you were younger, but you really start to feel so good in your skin that it doesn't matter who or what's around you. It does not matter. It's what you think about yourself finally. So I keep coming back that voice, and it's to be a psychologist. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to school for psychology to get my PhD in psychology. I have already a couple of years behind my belt, and that's already accredited. So I only really have 3 years, and then clinicals and practicums, and I can get it. So that's doable. So I'm going to hopefully fulfill my dream, and my terrible feeling of settling in life is going to hopefully go away. So this whole thing is about what we do when we settle